Fear is something that I have come very close to over the past couple of months because I was very fearful of leaving my secure job that was paying me a decent amount of money each and every single month to figure things out, just to kind of take a little bit of a break, have maybe an early quarter life crisis in a sense. And I have learned a lot from fear. So watching the Rick and Morty episode where Morty ended up jumping in the fear hole and he went through all these different scenarios of what he thought was his fear, when he came to realize that his fear was just not his fear was needing Rick, even though he didn't want to say that he needed Rick. And it's a cool thing to see because I didn't think I needed to be this way or to have these things, and it's just like, I do. It's just we have to face our fears. And by facing our fears, we become braver. At the end of Rick and Morty, we hear Morty or Rick say, you seem a lot less burdened. And as we start to experience our emotions, as we start to experience the fears that we replay in our head time and time again of, oh, what's this person going to say when I ask them out? Or what's going to happen when I ask for this amount of money when I start doing coaching? Or how is somebody going to respond when I cold approach them out in public, or when I ask them if they want to do a podcast? And I can create all these scenarios within my head that absolutely terrify me. And when I finally pick up that phone call, or I start the first podcast, or I make the first ask, people are a lot more receptive. And I start to see that there are just these fears within my own mind. There's a meditation technique that I've been doing over the past couple of months to help me overcome my fears, because there's this new movie also coming out called Imagination, which is a interesting movie. I only saw a little bit of it, but the trailer that I did see where they were talking about it is just like, all right, close your eyes. And I closed my eyes and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, this is the meditation that I've been doing. So I'm going to explain this meditation to you guys to hopefully help it so that you can overcome said fear that you have within your own mind, which in turn can help you either maybe find a different direction of making sure you know what you want to do after high school, or understand what you should be doing in college, or what you can do in college, or maybe figuring out the career path that you want to go down, because I didn't know at first, and then I just kind of started walking and things have just always worked out in the ways that they needed to, which I find incredibly fascinating. So this meditation, it's quite simple. What we're going to want to do is we want to close our eyes as we are here right now, and when we close our eyes, you can look, you can think, you can see whatever you see, and maybe there's different scenarios that are playing out within your mind right now. Maybe you're seeing like, oh, my family is going to say this to me, or I'm going to create this scenario, or YouTube isn't going to work because I'm going to have all these negative comments. People are going to feel a certain way, which I was talking to another friend of mine about that just the other day, where he wants to start streaming Apex Legends on YouTube, but he doesn't want to be known. I was like, dude, why don't you do something what I've done? Like, I mean, there's going to be a time, I think next month, where I am going to start doing my faces during the live streams. Like, these videos I think will still stay the same, but like when I'm doing like the live stream, like asking you questions, at that point in time I'll have my camera on, just because I think it creates a much more personal experience. So I'll be doing that. And I was telling him about like, yeah, what are you afraid of? And he was creating all these scenarios within his head of like, oh, people are going to say this, or I'm going to feel this way, or whatever it may be. And that's those were his fears that he had in his mind. So I asked him a couple of questions. He's like, yeah, no, I guess that's right. I guess I am overthinking. I guess I don't have to have my name out there. I guess I don't have to show my face. It's like, yeah, dude, like I watch content. You watch content right now that has no face in it, and you enjoy it. Like, it's the content that I've watched too. Like, I'll just listen to other people talk. Some people have said that this content's boring. For me, I find this stuff interesting. So I don't think it's boring. I think it's just a matter of finding the right audience. And I can thank Eurasian Host for donating to the channel the other day as well. Well, I feel like at this point in time, it's been a week now, which is crazy to think how quickly time goes by. I can thank him for also having the courage to come on stream with me for the first time and play Crazy Eights. And then the other people that Senpai watched, you're big into, I know your name, dude, and it's escaping me right now, so I apologize for that. He big into Rent a Girlfriend, and like I had these fears of me going and doing these of doing live streams that people weren't going to show up, or people were going to do this certain thing or a different thing and wouldn't be happy with what I was doing. And these were all fears within my mind. And that's why, like, when we close our eyes, we see all these crazy scenarios, and then as we open them, it's like, oh, okay, nothing really moved that fast. And I've been doing this meditation when I'm at the gym. I'll even do this meditation when I'm walking. Like, I'll be walking out in a public place and I'll shut my eyes and I'll just keep walking, and then I'll open them back up and I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I'm perfectly okay. All these fears that I had in my mind, they weren't true. And that's why when we want to do something, we will, for some odd reason, I don't know why this is. It's something I've still yet to figure out. I have a pretty good understanding just from my own personal experience. It's just we seem to create these scenarios within our heads of this is what I need to do. This is what's going to happen if I ask the girl out, if I tell my parents that I don't want to show up for Christmas, if I say, like, this is what I'm doing with my life now. We have all these fears of how people will react. And I said this on another day. I can't remember the exact one that it was. But it was the whole saying where, like, those who matter don't mind and those who mind don't matter. It's a really powerful statement. And maybe that'll hit home for you right now. With the meditation, like when you close your eyes and you reopen them back up, and I know I'm jumping all over the place. I have a feeling that maybe you're following along, maybe you aren't. I'm trying something a little bit different with this content as well right now, just to kind of maybe help you connect the dots in ways that you hadn't had them connected beforehand. And if not, this will get planted in your subconscious mind, because I've had a couple of people tell me that they listen to these right before they go to bed. So I'm kind of more talking to the subconscious more than the conscious mind right now. And it's a matter of just planting that seed so that the seed will grow up into something that you will be proud of. I mean, you can already be proud of yourself right now for doing videos for this long and making it this far in life and just showing up every single day, even when it is hard, because it doesn't become easier. And that's why facing our fears and looking within ourselves is the place where I've always looked. I've just been doing it more and more recently, because in society it tells us, and this is what we can see from Rick and Morty too, is within the episode, they were trying to get scared from the outside. And then the thing that really scared Morty was looking within himself and having to jump inside and look at his own fears and his own insecurities and his own self-doubt and hatred and all these other hosts of emotions. And that's what he had to do to be able to overcome his fear. And then once he was finally out of the hole, Rick was like, you're a lot less burdened. And Morty's like, yeah, I am. And that's the great part about facing our fears and facing the things that scare us, is we become a lot more capable and braver to do things with our life that we want to. So if that's asking for more money at work, or if that's leaving a job, or if that's moving out on our own, it all starts by facing small fears, because the smaller the fears that you make, the bigger impact that you will have. And there's an example that I can give for this as well. So like if I wouldn't have left my job 3 months ago to just try YouTube, like it started out with this, like I would have kept doing and having this idea of like, okay, this is the type of content that I want to make. I want to go out in public and I want to ask strangers questions, along with like the anime content and like doing that type of content. And I've tried it multiple times as well too. I've tried it once before and I thought it was more the people that I was with. I've come to realize that I don't like creating, I like documenting more, and that's why I do podcasts now. And I'll share the link at the end of this month. It'll just be somewhere on the channel. It is Mindset Mastery. If you want to look it up, you can look it up and maybe you'll find the right one. There's a couple of them under that name right now. But yeah, I do a podcast because like I genuinely just enjoyed talking with people. Like that's my big thing. That's what I enjoy most of all. And that's why I love the live stream that we did a couple weeks ago, where I just got to talk with you. Like each and every single one of you that watches these videos, I just got to chat. We got to play some games. I got to see the inner workings of your mind, because too often a fear of mine is like people aren't, there's like the numbers I forget are people. Like they're like, you are, I don't want to say you're a number, but like, I think you know what I mean. Like I'm a number as well too when I watch videos. It's just I don't want to have that be what this channel is. I want to have this channel be a much more human connection, where it's like we can live stream and chat with one another for a couple of hours or maybe an hour here and there every week or something along those lines. And I can help you in areas of your life that maybe you're struggling with, and I can use anime references that maybe you're curious about, which is why I'm going to be doing those live streams like I was talking about. I posted it in the community tab as well. And if this is something that you're interested in, I'd say just send me a DM on Discord. It's at Weeb Help on Discord, and you can just send me a DM there, and then we can figure out a time to where we can like live stream this, and I can ask you questions, and we can help you address some fears that you're having in life right now. If that's not sure where you want to go with maybe your job, or if you're not sure where you want to go for school, or if you're not sure how to proceed in your relationships, like I can help in all these different areas just by using my own life experience and asking you questions to help you get closer to your goal. Because one of my friends that I was telling you about at the beginning of this video too, where he wanted to start streaming Apex Legends, what he ended up texting me yesterday, he was just like, it was great seeing you today. The different perspective It was great seeing you today. The different perspective. You changed my entire feeling of life in a matter of an hour. Really appreciate the conversation and look forward to the next one. And I hear those things and I'm like, if I was able to do that with him, Imagine what I can do, like just a one-on-one conversation, and when we stream it and we do a live stream, imagine how many more people that it could impact. And that's why I do it this way, is because if he was struggling with this thing, I have a feeling other people are also struggling with this exact same thing, and we can just build a community where we help each other grow into the people that we know we can become, and from doing so, it'll just change the world in a much more positive direction. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I talked a little bit about how you can overcome your fears. There's a couple of other strategies and tactics that you can use, such as fear setting. I use that a little bit. I just liked more of the like close my eyes and open them and address them that way, and then just do things that scare me, such as approaching the girl, asking for the promotion, making the first phone call, knocking on the door, whatever it may be that scares me. Because each small little thing that scares me does make me just a little bit braver each and every single time. And that's why, if you guys are interested in wanting to do this, like I said, just send the DM to me on Instagram. We'll figure it out, figure out a time that works best for both of us, and we'll make sure that it happens. Otherwise, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this, and we'll address our fears and conquer the world together, because it's who we are, it's what we do, and it's the best way that I've learned to grow as a person. So I'll see you guys in the next one.